you're jacked into Buffy's Angels. Weird week, weird week. Buffy was dealing with Troll, Triangle. Should be called Troll. I don't know why it's called Triangle. And then we've got Angel, redefinition. Only episode in Angel history where Angel doesn't have any dialogue, all VO. Very interesting. Let's bring in my co-host watching these for the first time. Love to talk to him about them. These aired on 2 different weeks, so I have a lot to talk about in terms of what was going on at the time. I hope you're prepared for that. Logan B. Adair, what's up?
Well, I say we just get all into that stuff. I would say it's called Triangle because of the whole Xander, Anya, Willow
Oh, is
thing.
that why? Honestly, I've watched this episode, many times, and that has never once occurred to me.
It's not a love
I've
triangle, so it's not the first thing that would pop to your mind, but I would think that's what they're referencing.
See, X-Files has an episode called Triangle, Logan, and it takes place in the Bermuda Triangle, okay? And that is a great episode, one of the best later season episodes, season 7. And this is not as good.
No, not as good.
Well, you haven't seen that X-Files episode.
Well, take your word for it.
You
Is
know
that the
what's
one where
cool
the
about
cockroach runs
No,
across the
you know what's
screen?
cool about that X-Files episode? They shoot it, it's shot in real time, but also in split screen. So you're watching like 2 different sequences happening in real time at the same time, and you have to sort of like make sense of both of them. It's awesome.
It's like 500 Days of Summer.
Go fuck yourself.
Expectations
Go
versus
fuck yourself. Go
reality.
fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
That's the
Oh
best part of
God.
500 Days of Summer.
That's one of the
One of the great parts.
there's like 3 parts of 500 Days of Summer where they're like, see, we're quirky. We do interesting stuff. And that's one of them. I feel
Oh,
like there's another
stop it.
one where it's like someone's like saying something and they're like translating what he means or something. It's very sitcom-y. Anyway,
I like it.
JGL.
All right. What's up
Winter.
with Angel,
Winter.
by the way?
What about Angel?
It's not really Angel. What the fuck happened?
He's
Something's
not
going
really
on.
jealous
He's not
either, though.
himself.
Yeah, a lot going on. Let's start with Buffy though.
I noticed when he was smoking that cigarette, I was like, does Angel smoke?
No, frankly, I've been told he doesn't breathe, so he shouldn't be able to smoke, but he does. Um, so the first thing this was really weird. Okay, every week we've done this season, or really since Angel premiered, Logan, a Buffy episode aired on the same night as an Angel episode, and we just covered them both and talked about that week. But this is the first time, and maybe the only time this ever happens, because Buffy changes networks next season, is Triangle aired, and after that, they aired a rerun of Angel. And then the next week, they aired a rerun of Buffy and this episode of Angel.
That is very odd. No rhyme or
I
reason to that?
No rhyme or reason to it. I cannot explain it to you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. So Buffy, we're gonna start with because it was a week before. It was January 9th, 2001 that this aired. It's 2001 now.
The
How
year
about
of
that?
Osama.
That's I like to think of it as the year of Zoolander, but
Or
no,
Shrek, probably the biggest pop
maybe,
culture
yeah,
guy.
that was huge. Um, so what a night this was for television that this Buffy episode aired, Logan.
All right.
What if I told you that this episode of Buffy aired at the same time, in the same time slot as the first ever episode of The Mole?
The Mole.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Mole.
Me neither. I feel like I should. I like the early seasons are hosted by Anderson Cooper, which intrigues me.
Yeah, the concept of The Mole intrigues me more than that. I know that Colleen from The Challenge was on The Mole.
Oh, when you said Colleen, I got very excited, but I don't care about the challenge.
What other Colleen do you know?
Haskell, bitch.
Oh, of course, of course. The Yeah, I mean, maybe I thought about doing The Mole when we were doing Comp Beast back in the day, but we never did it. But
Yeah, we
maybe they should
should.
bring it back. The mole.
They did, didn't they? I feel like there
Uh,
was like a modern mole for a while on
that kind of rings
Netflix.
a bell. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, just for the record, the episode of Angel that aired after this was Untouched, the Bethany Chalk telekinesis
A lot
episode.
of reference to that in the Angel episode.
True, which makes sense because the Angel episode this week is the second script by that message board lady that wrote
Okay.
that one. Yeah.
A lot of stuff like Lila, you fucked up. Bethany
Yeah.
Chalk.
Remember they even say like remember like they remind the audience telekinetic Bethany Chalk and the audience is like, "Oh yeah, I remember that episode."
Oh yeah. Was that the one that I said there were like porn dynamics between Bethany and Lila? Was that that
Yeah,
one?
I think you were very interested in that. I thought there were more porn dynamics between her and her dad.
Who? Bethany and her dad?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, at the end of the episode, right.
yeah.
Oh, you thought they were gonna kiss each other?
No, no, but you know that I feel like that's porn now. It's just dads banging their daughters.
So anytime you see a dad and a daughter on screen, you think about porn?
No, but there was an implication that he like molested her when she was a kid or
Oh yeah,
something.
my bad, my
Yeah,
bad. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That was weird. I didn't
Um,
like that.
all right. Some other huge things that happened today. Well, for one thing, another TV show premiered, Three Sisters. All right. Didn't really pan out, got canceled after 2 seasons, but the people who created it went on to create The Middle, which I watched every episode of. That's why I wanted to bring
Oh,
up.
why? Why'd you
Okay.
watch all the middle?
Well, I guess I chose to watch every episode of The Middle because it was a great and delightful show that I really enjoyed watching.
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna yuck your yum.
Thanks, bro. Uh, but how
What,
about this?
Malcolm in the Middle? You ever watch that one?
Watched every episode of that.
They're good.
He was not really in the middle.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
Let me tell you the biggest thing that happened on January 9th, 2001. The biggest thing other than the mole and this episode of Buffy.
All right, hit me.
Well, Apple made an announcement and they'd like to announce there's a new service where you can store your music library. It's called iTunes.
I would say that's number one.
I would say that's probably number
That's
one.
huge. That's pretty
That's
cool.
probably a bigger deal than this Buffy episode with a troll.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The
Yeah.
third worst episode of the season or something.
It's probably the worst episode of the season.
No way. Come
Oh,
on.
yeah, you're right. It's probably better than like Shadow.
What about the fucking lizard one?
That's that one.
Oh, yeah.
um Independent Women, Destiny's Child, still topping the charts, Logan.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Amazing stuff. Uh
Is it Independent Woman Part 1? Because I played that as the outro last week. I didn't
it
know.
is. It's Independent Women Part 1. Yeah.
It starts out like Drew Barrymore, shout out to you.
Yeah. It's one of the oh right, right, because it's on the Charlie's Angels.
Lucy Lou, I
I
love
know.
you.
It's so funny. Yeah. Um but yeah, that was a thing. I love that when pop songs have part ones. No one's asking for the part two ever.
Ever? Has there ever been a part 3?
There must have been.
Someone's got to do the first ever part 3, if not.
Yeah, Usher's got to bust that out. Loving This Club part
Usher's
3.
going
Make
through
it happen.
other stuff, I think.
Finish the Wow, what's happening with Usher?
I think it was like, I don't know what's true and what's not. I don't want to spread rumors. Something about P. Diddy. I don't know.
Oh, did Usher get brought up in the latest P. Diddy lawsuit?
I don't know exactly what happened, but I've seen his name talked about.
Interesting. Because P. Diddy, I think he's going to prison.
Yeah, terrible
It's like
stuff.
bad. It's gotten real bad for that guy.
Yeah, who knew?
I mean, he probably made it pretty bad for some people too. I don't mean to feel bad for an evil person, but
Well, like we're feeling bad or just bringing it up.
I'm just saying it's wild to see. You know,
Yeah,
I'll be missing him when he's in prison.
Was that his number one thing? Probably.
Yeah, that and Bad Boys for Life, and I think he's proven a little something to us.
Wow, he's showing it. Yeah.
Yeah, he never hid who he is. All right. People's Choice Awards happened. Do you want to hear?
Yeah.
You want to hear an episode of Award Bros in the middle of Buffy's Angels?
Let's do it.
All right, because 2 awards shows happened right before this Buffy episode. The People's Choice Awards with host Kevin James. I'm sure it was a
Wow.
great show. Yeah. Uh, best drama, The Green Mile. All right. Best comedy, Meet the Parents. In Sync won a bunch of awards. Best television comedy, Friends. Best television drama, ER.
Yep.
All right. Um, and favorite movie star, our old friend Mel Gibson.
Mel.
Great to see him. Yep, Mel in 2001. For What Women Want and The Patriot, I believe. Those
Yeah.
two films. And the winner of Best
Pretty good.
Unscripted TV show, Logan, a brand new show just premiered
It's
a
always
couple
sunny.
months ago called Unscripted. Survivor.
I thought that was a lot of improv on that show. Survivor.
You think that there's an Emmy category for improvised, like you think Curb Your Enthusiasm wouldn't be included with the best comedy nominees? It would be an unscripted TV show.
I don't know what goes on over there.
What's wrong with you?
They could have both categories
I
for all I
can't.
know.
First of all, It's Always Sunny is completely scripted. Second of all, I can't imagine hearing the word unscripted and your brain immediately goes to It's Always Sunny in
I
Philadelphia.
thought this was around the time it started. I don't fucking know.
No, first of all, it started like 8 years later. Second of all, I don't know. It's crazy.
All right,
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
The American Music Awards also happened.
Man, we don't
All
have a
right.
song for that, do we?
The American Music, no, we don't, sadly.
Oh.
Um, the American Music Awards that year were co-hosted, Logan, by a dream team. Okay.
Okay.
Britney Spears and LL Cool J.
Wow, that is the dream team.
Yeah.
Who
And
is
ladies
funnier, you think?
ladies love Cool James. Do you think Britney maybe loved Cool James that night?
I think probably. I
It
bet that was
could
the
be.
funniest he ever was, actually. He was probably trying to be so funny that
Oh
night.
my God, for 2001 Britney Spears, you're so right.
He was cracking so many great jokes.
Yeah, yeah. He was wearing his number one sexiest Kangol hat.
Yeah, you probably own some Kangol
I
hats.
never once owned a Kangol hat. How dare you?
I learned a word this week on Buffy, a fashion word. Tell
Yeah,
you about it later.
I'm looking forward to it. Some winners there: In Sync, Kid Rock, Creed really dominated the Rock Awards. Dr. Dre did very well in the Hip Hop Awards, and the winner for Best Soundtrack, Mission Impossible 2.
Wow, wouldn't have
Yeah,
expected that.
they had some good songs on that soundtrack. Who could forget "I Disappear" by Metallica?
I did.
I disappear. That's how it
What?
goes.
Is
Yeah.
Metallica good?
They have their moments.
Really?
Yeah. Metallica has some like fun songs, but I feel like you maybe had to be there. Like you can't listen to like Metallica for the first time today and be like, "That's awesome." You had to like listen to it and then like not listen to it for a long time and then listen to it again, then be like, "Oh yeah."
That's really bad if that's the way you can consume it. That's the only way it's good.
Well, I'll tell you the best way to consume Metallica, Logan. Watch the documentary Metallica, Some Kind of Monster, an utter master 5-star piece.
I'm a master 5-star piece.
Yeah, I meant to say 5-star masterpiece, forgot to say 5-star, and then I just incorporated it into the word
That's how
masterpiece.
good it is. You got
Yeah.
tripped up in your words. Yeah, you do love that. That's always like your
Yeah.
top movie of the year and stuff.
It's in my top 10 for whatever year it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, where are we?
That
Oh, I
day,
gave
what
you
else
I gave
happened?
oh.
The awards?
Movies. Number one. The number one it's all like award season stuff and like Christmas season stuff that like left over from the previous year. No new releases. Number one is Castaway. Number two is What Women Want. Number three is Traffic. Number four is Miss Congeniality. Number five is The Family Man. And I'm happy to say I saw all five of those movies in theaters.
Yeah, I expected that. They all seem like huge movies.
Yeah, big movies. And I also just want to say that 3 days after this episode of Buffy, another new television program premiered that was going to set the world on fire, Logan.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Nope, another 8 or 9 years for that. No,
Oh.
actually, you're probably closer than I think. It's probably more like 5 years. But the show that would premiere 3 days after Buffy introduced this troll character, Lizzie McGuire.
Lizzie McGuire.
Yes.
I would have thought that's actually on by now.
No,
Well, where
Hillary
are we?
Duff. Hillary Duff was
2001,
introduced
2000.
to the world on January 12th, 2001.
Well, that's huge. We met her little cartoon character
That's
version of
right.
herself. We were all
That hey, it got me.
mesmerized.
It got me. I probably wouldn't have watched that show, but I was like, I like that's cute.
Yeah, that's a
Also,
cool element.
also, also, I think it was on like right before Even Stevens, and I liked Even Stevens, so sometimes I would tune in early to watch Lizzie.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I'd say Lizzie was pre Stevens.
But Stevens was like the latest like Disney Channel thing I was watching.
Like if
Like
that's as far as you went.
yeah, like at my oldest. Like that's the oldest I got still watching a show from like my childhood or
I'd
whatever.
say mine was Jessie.
Which one's that?
Debbie Ryan plays
Debbie
the
Ryan,
she's like
right.
a new nanny, Jessie.
Yeah, yeah. All I needed was Debbie Ryan. I remember her.
How do you know her?
I
She hasn't
really
really done
only
anything else
I
aside from
don't know
Disney.
her as anything but like a Disney Channel celebrity, but like I know her as that.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Triangle. All right. We'll have some more stuff about the first couple weeks of 2001 a little later in the podcast.
Yes, it's just a 1 week difference.
Yeah, 1 week difference.
Okay.
Um, our writer for this episode of Buffy is Jane Espenson. You know, she likes to do comedy. This is some very broad comedy she's doing. This week, I think she had a little more comedy success earlier this season with the replacement on Buffy, the Xander twin episode. And she also wrote on Angel, Guys Will Be Guys, the Angel,
Good
the
year.
Wesley pretending to be Angel episodes. Yeah, so she's written like two really strong episodes, and I'm not sure about this one.
I did she do the previous episode where it turns out to be like a little tiny villain?
No, that was David
Because that's a
Fury.
similar ending to this
It
one.
is, yeah. But she, she's no stranger to this sort of thing. She wrote like the Jonathan rules the world episode. She wrote the episode
Earshot.
where, yeah, she wrote Band Candy where Giles fucks Joyce. Like she
Yep.
likes doing really
Twice
silly
on
shit.
the
Yeah,
police car.
true. She wrote the episode where that's revealed as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, she likes doing silly things with these characters. And our director for this week is completely out of the blue. This blew my mind. Honestly, I don't know that I ever looked this guy up because so his name's Christopher Hibbler. I saw that name. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that name before. But
Hmm.
that's crazy because I followed Buffy very closely. So I looked up Christopher Hibbler. I have no idea how he got this assignment. Okay. He never worked for Joss Whedon before or after this. He retired less than 1 year after this episode aired. All right. And he's primarily known for directing like network TV shows involving like old school TV legends. So he directed 40 episodes of Matlock starring Andy Griffith, and he
Whoa.
directed 31 episodes of Diagnosis Murder starring Dick Van Dyke. That's this guy's career. His final credit on IMDb is a Diagnosis Murder reunion movie.
Oh
Then
wow.
he retired. Then he died 9 years later. So I don't know who the fuck this is.
Probably yeah, he's probably like a legend guy they brought in. They're like, whoa, we got this guy. Someone was a fan of him, I think.
I think the episode looks bad.
Looks bad.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
if I
think there's
got
a
that.
couple of big moments in this episode that are staged poorly. I'm
Mm.
thinking of the catwalk and the bronze falling down, things like that.
Hmm.
I don't know, man. Some of Willow's magic looks really silly in this episode. I'm not sure about it.
Yeah.
It might be a directing problem. Um, but that's enough about me. Why don't you scrote your notes?
But he's got 40 episodes of that show under his belt. You'd think he'd be pretty good.
Yeah, but that is such a formula show. Like it was just Dick Van Dyke solving murders every week. Like that's what that show was.
Yeah. Andy Griffith was mentioned on Survivor last night.
Is that true?
There's an alliance named after him. I swear to God. It's called the Andy Griffith Alliance.
That is
I
insane.
swear. Yeah. They're both, it's
Why?
because they mentioned they were fans of the show, the Andy Griffith show. And they're like young people, so they're like, "Isn't that weird? We love Andy Griffith."
Really?
Swear to
Too
God,
young? How young are they?
like one's like 23 and one's like 26,
And they
probably.
love the Andy Griffith show.
Yeah, really. I don't know how much if they actually do, but they were
That
referencing
is
characters and stuff.
that is really, really interesting.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah. Hey, can I tell you something that I meant to tell you at the beginning of the season and forgot?
Of the Buffy season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a new composer this season,
Okay.
which I think is notable because I really like the work of the original Buffy composer, Christoph Beck.
Hmm.
But Christoph Beck at this point was getting movie work, so he was like not really hanging on to Buffy anymore. He ended up doing a lot of Pixar
That's cool.
and like The Hangover and stuff. He did the Muppets, which we just covered. But anyway, they replace him with this fella, Steve Thomas Wanker. I love that name. And his music, I feel like it's more ever present. Like Christoph Beck writes themes that pop up here and there, but this guy Wanker, he just like composes a lot of mood music that's like right under the scene. And
Yeah.
I don't like it as much, and I find it distracting at times. Um, this was the first time it distracted me. That's why it occurred to me to bring him up. But
Do you remember which scene? Or just throughout the whole episode?
just throughout the episode, but there's like some scenes where like they're doing like light comedy, like just like it's but the scene with the music below it doesn't really reflect that. It's more moody, and yeah, this guy went on and he now works exclusively for a man named Roland Emmerich.
Wow, that's
All
pretty
right.
cool.
Yeah. He also doesn't go by Thomas Wanker anymore. I wonder if he got ripped on too hard because his last name means jerking off your cock.
I would think
Um,
so.
so he now goes by Thomas Wander.
How do you
All
know?
right.
How do you spell that?
The same way as Wanker, but with just a D instead of the K.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right. So he composed the music to White House Down and Independence
Oh
Day
shit.
Resurgence and Moonfall in 2012. Okay.
That's pretty cool. So, I mean, I didn't really know. So you think he's like just watching the episode? He's like, oh, I could add something here. I could add something here. Like he's just
I
like
think he's
adding
just
whatever he
watching the
wants.
episode, constantly playing music under it.
Yeah. I haven't really noticed it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And
Sure, I
one
will
thing I
now.
say is they, in big moments, they still use old Christoph Beck themes, and they bring Christoph Beck back for big episodes sometimes, like the finale this year. So he's still a part of the show, but our week to week guy has changed. I just wanted to bring that up if anyone cares.
Well, all those movies you mentioned haven't come out yet, so I'm sure they'll be able to get him for a little bit.
No, he's with the show for the rest of the show. This guy.
But
Buff
Beck doesn't come back every now and then throughout the entire
he
show.
comes he comes back every now and then, but just for like an episode here and there.
Right.
Like our week to week composer, they had three in the run of Buffy. There's one guy doing it for the first season. They replaced him in the second season with Christoph Beck, who did it from 2 to 4, and then we have this fellow Wanker from 5 to 7.
Does he change his name throughout this show? We see it change in the credits from Wanker to Wander, or no?
No, no, Wander didn't happen until those Emmerich movies.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that about Friends. Like sometimes you watch a Friends and it's like Courtney Cox. Then you watch another one
Courtney
and it's
Cox
Courtney Cox
Arquette.
Arquette. And you're
You
like,
know,
oh
what's
shit.
really fun, Logan,
What's that?
is that the first episode of Friends where she changed her last name to Courtney Cox Arquette, all the other actors added Arquette to their names.
I've
So if you
heard
watch
about
the
that.
credits, it's like David Schwimmer Arquette. It's
Right.
fun.
That's pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Read your notes.
That's it. That's all we got.
What do you mean?
That's it on the day. We can move on.
Oh, I did. I was finished with the day ages ago. I asked you to start, and then I realized I wanted to talk about that composer guy.
Oh yeah, we did the director and writer and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so we start out in bed, right? Xander and Anya, they're in bed.
Yeah, really following up on like I feel like after Into the Woods, we are now taking Anya and Xander very seriously as a couple.
Well, I feel like we've skipped ahead at least like a couple weeks, maybe.
I agree. I think you're probably right. We've skipped a lot of like mom's recovery. and the magic box feels much more established. I do think it's probably a month later or something.
I, I mean, I think I noticed it here. It seemed like a
Oh, and
few
it's like a new
days.
semester, right? You see Buffy
True.
signing up for classes.
True. But I think what the scene where it really stood out was when Dawn is like, I would have taken his pictures down a little sooner than that. Like it made it seem like a lot of time has
Yeah,
passed
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
where like
Riley's
she
been
thinks
out of
it's
there for a
late
while.
for right,
I
right.
like that. I like that. Good
So,
catch.
but here we are. Xander, he's like upset. He's like, I never gave Riley this crescent wrench. I'm such a bad friend. So upset. And
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll get this. Anya says, if you ever leave me, you better leave like a big warning clock saying like counting down. So
Yeah.
he better do that if Xander ever does leave Anya. We're gonna keep an eye out for that. Okay?
We will. We will. We'll be tracking the Anya Xander relationship.
Yes, yes. Anya says something maybe we haven't thought about. Maybe it's Buffy's fault. Maybe she's the problem.
I think we've thought about that plenty. I think that was kind of
Oh,
Riley's point.
okay. All right. Oh, well, who knows? Then we go to a church. Buffy kills a vampire, and she sees the nun. She talks to the nun, like, "Hey, how do you be a nun? That'd be fun."
I appreciated that scene. It felt like it could have been in a cemetery, and Espenson was like, "Yeah, let me think of something."
No, I liked it. I had no problem with it. That was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, that
Yeah,
was good.
good stuff. And then we have the credits, and then Buffy and Giles, they're doing some training. And Buffy sucks. She keeps dropping her shoulder, and Giles is like, "Hey, pick it back up. You're doing a terrible job." And we learned something about Giles. You ready for this episode?
I'm so ready.
Giles is leaving. He's going to go to England to the Watchers Council. He's going to ask them for help to
Yeah,
find out what's Glory's whole deal. What's up with
indeed.
Glory? I don't
Next
know.
week's episode, very Watchers Council heavy. We'll get to
Why?
check in with them. Well, they're gonna let us know what their learnings were.
We're gonna have them in this episode. I sort of thought Giles went, he came back, and now he has a little more information.
No, no, no. At the end of this episode, though, Giles says like they're gonna look into it.
Oh,
He's
so
like
we're gonna get a
she
little follow up.
Yeah, we're gonna get some follow up with the Watchers Council next week.
All right, that's cool. So we're gonna meet some people, right?
Um, I don't know. We might see some people we've seen before.
What? Oh,
I don't know. There's that fella Quentin Travers, like
oh
the head of the
yeah.
Watchers Council. We've seen him a couple times. I think he turns up next week. Yeah.
So I was thinking the only one we met was Faith's
No,
woman,
yeah, and that who was not really. I mean, she was an ex Watchers
and she
Council person,
died.
but we also met those like three dudes that were like after Faith in the arcs last season on Buffy and Angel. Those
They
dudes were
lived too.
hired out by the Watchers Council. Yeah, they survived. So there's I don't know if we see them next week or whatever, but I'm just saying we have met Watchers Council people before.
You're lucky if you survive an encounter with Faith, I gotta say.
You're not wrong, man.
She
Remember
is really
that
scary.
scene where she made everybody fight in that nightclub while that Rob Zombie song was playing?
Of
That
course,
scene's
she's just
awesome.
dancing. She's like
Yeah,
knocking them down and they were like fighting each other, but not her. She's so cool.
that shit rules.
We go to the magic box and Anya, she's excited. Giles is leaving town. She gets the magic box all to herself. She gets to watch the magic box.
She wants all responsibilities, even garbage.
Even garbage. Giles is a little worried though. Doesn't really trust her, but
Yeah, he trusts her with the money, maybe not so much the customers.
she's not very friendly. But she is. She's putting in the effort. Tara, I love Tara this episode a little bit. She
I
is
kind of Tara
jealous.
had a really good week. The idea that we had a long one-on-one Tara Buffy scene this week, that was exciting for me.
Yeah, they really like put characters together who should spend a little more time together and develop
Yeah.
better relationships.
I feel like Jane Espenson thinks about that a lot.
Yes, yeah,
Hmm.
you're probably right. Tara said something like she's jealous. She wants to go to England, right? She's like, "Oh, I want to
Yeah.
go to England. That seems fun."
She said,
Oh,
sounds so exotic. Unless you're English, I guess.
unless you're English, not for you.
Yeah.
Did Willow have a new hairdo?
It did feel on the short side, didn't it?
Yeah, on the short side, she had a little curly. Seemed new. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm wrong,
Yeah. She
but
looked
I don't
cute.
know. Look cute. Not a lot of Willow this season.
I agree. It's been a down Willow season. I'll
She
say
doing something? She making an American Pie or something? One of those?
no. Without spoiling anything,
Don't spoil anything.
I'm not spoiling. Is it spoiling anything to say that it next season's very Willow heavy?
No,
All
I
right.
thought that's better than what I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna
I,
say.
I, I think that's the thinking here is like we're going to use her a lot more next season. So
You
this
do
might
that
be
all the time.
a little
Anytime
bit of
someone's
a
not in, you're like, well, I think the thing is like they had to use them for the next episode.
no. But I think about that a lot. Like the planning of TV shows and like how characters can wax and wane. And
But
so
Willow, our
if
like our top two character on the show, could
well,
be if they use
if
her
there's
right.
other characters we need to focus more on this season, then for sure we have to go back to her next season. I think
The
if it wasn't the
pendulum.
plan, then for sure it was what happened.
Yeah, it has to be the way they correct it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So even if it wasn't the plan, they had to do it.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that makes
Willow
sense.
Willow is definitely underused
She's
in
due.
season 5 and she is very used in season 6.
Okay, that makes me happy. I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna say like we're sort of like leaning toward her not being on the show, like being on the show less and
Oh,
less.
absolutely not. No. This is not permanent at all. Willow's super important.
Okay. Um, well, here she's fighting with Anya. They're like getting into like little arguments back and forth, like just bickering at each other.
Yeah.
Not good. Not very
it
good.
it feels overdone. Jane Espenson comes from sitcoms like that. She wrote for sitcoms in the 90s. She wrote for that show Dinosaurs.
Hmm.
You know that show?
Yeah.
And I think on sitcoms you can do something like this where just like one week two characters are like really annoyed with each other. They bicker a lot, it's just for the plot. Like, and we accept it because it's a sitcom. I think it stands out a little more on a show where the character work is as smart as Buffy.
I
Uh,
agree. But I think we have
yeah.
talked about how they don't get along really.
Yeah, but it just felt like a lot of it this week
I
just for the
agree.
purpose of what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I fully agree, but it wasn't completely out of nowhere. But I was like, oh, this is a little sudden for like all this in like one episode. But
Yeah.
uh,
Especially like with Giles away. Like for me, with Giles out of town, Willow would be trying to be more of an adult and
yeah,
like and maybe be keeping an eye on Anya. I feel like that would be more the dynamic where like she's really trying to keep things in order and make sure Anya doesn't fuck shit up. But like the
she's
second Giles
stealing
goes out of town,
supplies.
like Willow's stealing supplies and like doing magic on the floor of
That
the
was kind of
shop.
more my
Like
issue with
I,
her.
I
I
yeah,
had.
I feel like Willow's out of character this week a little bit.
I agree. Spoiler alert. Willow was my LVP. At the end of the episode, I was like I was getting toward the end. I was like, I don't like Willow this episode, and then I ended up putting her for my LVP. Well,
Yeah,
I do have somebody else in contention, but I guess we will get
interesting.
there.
I hope it's not the troll
No, not
because the troll's my MVP.
not what's his name?
Olaf.
Olaf the troll, right? MVP, really?
Yeah, I think it's really funny.
That's fine. That's
I don't
fine.
really like this episode, and he's a highlight for me.
Okay. Here's a highlight for me. Buffy comes in. She's like, I met a nun. Not only did I meet her, she let me try on her wimple. And I never heard of
Oh,
a wimple before. Have
this is
you?
what you learned. Yeah, I hadn't either, and I did look it up.
At the time or this time?
No,
Like at the
this
time
time.
seeing
I'm
the
I'm sure at the time too, but I didn't
it's
remember
like
it.
their
So
little head piece,
yeah,
little scarf on their head.
yeah, I would have loved to see her wearing that, Buffy.
Can I ask you something else that I
Sure.
learned from a TV show? It's another word, another fashion word. You know what an aglet is?
Yes, it is the little piece at the end of shoelaces.
Yes. Where'd you learn that?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's one of those things that like turns up in trivia quizzes and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I learned it in an episode of Phineas and Ferb. Big episode where they teach us like all about what the aglet is. So I was like, oh
Good
shit,
stuff.
the aglet. Yeah.
People
Um,
love Finn. I've never seen a moment of Finn. I don't know anything
that's a
about Finn.
fun show.
But there's a TV critic that I used to really follow and respect when I was younger, and I remember he would talk all the time that like the best. He watched like kids shows with his kids and stuff, and he said the best current kids show is Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, that was probably accurate. You remind me a little bit of Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Never did I expect that word to every Every syllable got weirder.
It's
Doofenshmirtz.
Doofenshmirtz. And I'm
Doc.
Perry the platypus.
Okay, okay, and I'm Doctor Doofenshmirtz.
Dr.
Okay,
Doofenshmirtz. He's trying to
yeah.
take over the tri-state area.
Oh well, I do. I tried to take over the tri-state area for a little while myself. I failed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um.
He does a lot too. He fails a lot.
Okay. All
But
right. What's
so
next?
we go home. Joyce is there. She finally got out of her fucking bathrobe that she's been in the whole time.
Oh, I thought it was cute. I did like that scene. The two girls like you
It was
know
cute.
teasing her about it. It was sweet.
Yeah. Finally changed clothes. I
And
think
I
Joyce
thought
is
and I
bad
thought
actor
it's
though.
oh she's not great. I agree, but like she doesn't need to be. I do think that scene's important too because I like that there's a scene with like Buffy and Dawn really acting like sisters in the same episode where at the end of it like Dawn overhears them talking about that shit.
Right. Right. Well, I think they have a better moment when she's like, I would have taken the pictures down. And they're like laying on the bed together, and Buffy
Yeah.
is like, well, I think he'll come back maybe one day. I'll get to say
Yeah.
everything I never
You're
got to say to
you're
him.
right. That is a better moment, but I guess what I meant was the whole family with Joyce there as well.
No, I'm not complaining about this scene. I'm not
Yeah.
complaining at all. This was all nice stuff. Yeah, so that
Mhm.
all that happens here. Good stuff. And I thought that was interesting though. Buffy does say that like she'd love to be able to say all the things she never got to say to Riley.
Yeah.
Possibly that she loves him. But maybe
Yeah.
that'll all change if he ever does come back. It'll be too late. I don't know. But so Spike, go to Spike. Great Spike stuff. He's that man.
That
Remember that mannequin that's been
yeah,
in
it's the
like two
best scene
episodes?
of the episode.
Maybe. I thought you loved that troll, Olaf.
The troll is the highlight of the episode for me, but if we're going scene for scene, the troll just so many of his scenes have like bad special effects and like silly bullshit with Willow, and so
I meant to look up
I
that actor.
it's Abraham Ben Ruby. He's a great character actor.
He
He
seems
got
familiar, kind of, when
yeah,
he was in the part.
you've definitely seen him in shit. He got his start on Parker Lewis Can't Lose, which was an old TV show. But I mean, he was on ER for years. I don't know if you ever watched ER.
No.
He was in that movie, The Belko Experiment.
Yeah, I watched. I told you to watch that, I
Yeah,
think.
you might have recommended that to me. But yeah, he was really good in that. And he's turned up on TV a lot. I mean, he's a guy whose face you've 100% seen more than once.
The voice seemed familiar
Oh,
too.
how about this? I was just looking through his credits. Miss Congeniality 2, Armed and Fabulous, and he has a first and last name. So
Okay,
he
that
must
might
be a
be it.
big role.
Yeah.
He's also prominent in a classic X-Files episode called Arcadia.
Arcadia. That sounds
Hmm.
cool. He's in a Bones. He plays Willis McCullum.
I don't remember that. But on the in the X-Files episode, Mulder and Scully have to go undercover as a married couple in a suburban neighborhood, and they're like investigating the underbelly of this. It's really
That
good.
sounds. They like push a stroller and stuff.
I don't remember if they have a baby
They
situation or
got
not.
to pretend to have
I
the
don't remember.
baby. Pushes a stroller. That's dumb. All right. So Spike with the mannequin, it's funny because he's like pretending like it's Buffy, like he always does, and he like has chocolates, and he's like, Buffy, sorry. Is he apologizing for causing the breakup with Riley? Is that what it is? Like I didn't know y'all were gonna break up because of me showing you that
Yeah,
later.
yeah. I think what he's saying here is like, sorry for showing you what Riley was going through. I thought you would need to know that, but I didn't mean to blow up your life or whatever.
Yeah, and it wasn't my intention. But was
Yeah.
it? Kind of
Of
seemed like
course
it
it
to
was.
me.
Of course it was. He
Uh,
has
so
no. Remember, Spike has no soul.
this is mean. He's gonna go lie to her.
Well, yeah, but just he loves her. Like, and he
Some
can't
way to show it.
he can't love unselfishly. I feel like.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But he gets really mad at the mannequin, starts beating up the mannequin, he screams at it, but then he puts it back together and he's like, Buffy, I want to apologize. And he tries all over again.
Yeah, it's great. With
Great
I
stuff.
love how like in disarray the mannequin is too when he starts talking again, and he just like puts the little flowers back in the thing. It's really cute. All right, anything.
Yeah, great
What's
stuff.
next?
Magic box time. Amy
Hmm.
mentioned
Oh yeah, we get a little check in.
Willow apparently did a spell on Amy, trying to turn her back into human. Didn't work, but she is a little smarter. She's like rubbing her paws together, trying to talk to Willow. So Willow knows that Amy has things to say, and she's making her way toward becoming human, right?
Yeah. And I told you this was the first season with no Amy. And so I feel like this is the closest we get. Like, this is a nice little Amy check-in.
What do you mean no Amy? Oh, was Amy in all the other seasons? I guess so. Because
Yeah, she's
two,
in she's in Witch. She's in season 2, she's in Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered. In season 3, she's in Gingerbread. In season 4, there's that one moment in Something
she
Blue where like
magically
she gets
appears.
deratted for like 1 second, and she's
Deratted.
not, yeah, and then she's not in this season.
Right, right. God, I'm so excited. So excited. Willow starts talking about the Cat in the Hat, and Anya's upset because she's never read the Cat in the Hat.
Why are you talking about literature I never could know about?
This reminded me of us.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
Stop talking about the Odyssey. You know I haven't don't know about that.
Am I always talking about the Odyssey?
I don't know. You always talk about stupid
Oh,
shit.
you know the D train. He can't shut the fuck up about Homer.
He fucking loves Homer. You know one thing about Daniel. I
No.
I thought that was pretty good. And so Willow's like stealing stuff, and she's like, Anya, if you don't say anything, I'll teach you how to do some spells. I don't know. I thought they could really tell on Xander here. Xander shows up and he says, My three favorite girls. They could really tell Buffy, say, hey, you know you're not even one of his three favorite girls, Buffy. And she could beat him up.
Well, I think he's being nice to Tara. Let's be
Right. He says
honest.
my two favorite my three
Buffy,
favorite girls.
exactly. And it's a cute moment, and I like it for them.
Right.
But if we're being honest here, I'm sure that his ranking at this point is 1 Anya, 2 Willow, 3 Buffy.
Yes, yes, I agree. I agree with that. Good point. So Willow, we start this bit. She makes the cash register disappear.
I thought the callback to it was funnier than the initial bit.
Yes, for sure, for sure, for sure. And so Willow and Anya, they're like going at it, and they're like, Xander, who's right? And Xander's like, pick it. I don't want to pick who's right. So he leaves, and then they're like, Tara, who's right? And then the scene ends. Pretty funny. And I love this part. So it ended like Tara's like, you guys got to sort some stuff out. And then we go exterior magic box. Then right back inside the magic box. I love it. We didn't get any other scene. It was just exterior, interior. I thought that was really fun. And so we go back in, and Anya's like, all right, well, they're like pricing out how much Willow stole, basically. They're like getting her the price right. And so Willow's doing the spell, and they start fighting with each other, and it fucks up, and Olaf is born.
Well, he's not born, but he's conjured.
Okay, he's conjured. I have a question. Why isn't it revealed in this scene that he's Anya's boyfriend? She's here. He comes out, he screams, breaks stuff, runs away.
I wish I had an answer for you. I've thought about that literally every time I've watched this episode.
Later on, I went back. I was like, wait, wasn't she in the scene when he first showed up? What happened?
I guess the way I justify it in my head. He's distracted. The conjuring is very sudden, and so he just freaks out and like starts a
Yeah,
rampage, and he doesn't even see Anya. But it's stupid.
yeah. Maybe he's just seeing like white flashes because he doesn't really know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
But so that
I
happened. That
guess
was
we'll
fun.
never know what's going on through the troll Olaf's head.
Yeah, I
His
wish. I loved
big,
how he kept.
weird gray head.
I, I love how he kept calling her Anyanka.
Anyanka,
He
yeah, I
only
like
knew her
that
as
too.
Anyanka. That's pretty funny.
I will say that there is one episode of Buffy where we get a flashback to 1,000 years ago, and Olaf turns up.
As a human,
Yeah, like Anyanka and Olaf
as like a cute guy,
as
like a
Abraham
normal
Ben
boy.
Ruby, like whatever Abraham Ben Ruby looks
Wow.
like without the makeup and
They
shit.
should have got like Ryan Gosling or somebody really cute to play
Oh
him.
no, no, it's really well done. It's great.
And then Xander like sees a photo of them in the past and he gets self-conscious. Like, oh, you dated fucking Ryan Gosling looking guy?
You think you saw a
I'm just
photo
Xander.
from 1,000 years ago?
Drawing. from
Okay. Oh,
Angel.
it's like when Buffy sees that picture of like an old like Contessa that like Angel fucked once in like the 1800s or whatever, and she
That
got
was
all
a drawing.
self-conscious. Yeah, I think that was a drawing. That was
When were
in
cameras invented? I never thought about it really.
not until like the late 1800s. I feel like the earliest photographs are from like 1880s or something.
That's way earlier than I thought. I would have thought like 1910s or something.
Well, I think the first film is 1897.
Oh yeah, what am I talking about? We were making movies.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good call. Great call. So that's cool. So that's all fun. Olaf, pretty cool guy. Buffy and Tara, they had a class together. They're leaving. Buffy hates the teacher because he keeps spitting on her.
I liked that. Buffy's actually pretty delightful in this
She's my
episode.
MVP. As like we haven't talked about her too much, but I think she's great, and especially toward
She's
the end
just
when
cute and sad and
so sad.
mopey. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sweet. She just wants everyone to be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Her like belief in Xander and Anya's relationship now
Love it.
after her own fell apart. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tara, she ends up mentioning how, hey, when I was at the magic box, Anya made Xander leave. He was all mad leaving, and Buffy's like, "Oh no, he's gonna leave her like Riley left me. It's gonna be terrible." And she kept saying this thing, a miraculous love. She just keeps saying
Yeah.
they have a miraculous love. Very funny.
I like that. I'll tell you what. I I think this episode is bottom 10 for me.
Bottom 10, I didn't
Yeah,
quite get there.
or bottom 20 at least. But talking through it scene by scene, it does have moments.
I'm not even bottom 25.
Okay.
Barely outside the bottom 25.
All right.
Yeah,
Um
I agree. It's not. I mean, it's not the best, but it has moments. I mean, we'll get to the ranking. But we go to the car. Anya's never driven a car, but she's driving the. It's Giles' car. We learned, I think, in the scene, right? They're driving
yeah,
Giles's car.
I thought about when she drove in the Dream and Restless. She drives the ice cream truck. I was like, she has
Oh
driven
wow,
before, but then I was like, no, 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 that was a dream.
I didn't think about that. But
Yeah.
you're right, because Xander's in the back. Is it with Willow? Actually, she's trying to like seduce him.
Willow and Tara are trying to
And
like get him into a three-way.
right, that's crazy. Why? Why was that? What was that about?
What do you mean?
Why were they trying to do that?
It was a
That
dream.
was that like
It
Xander's
was
dream?
Xander's dream. Yeah,
That's
he's
like what he
horny.
wanted. That's weird.
Yeah.
All right, fair. I mean, it's not weird. Of course, that would happen. You have two lesbian friends, right? And you're a teenager. That would happen, right? You'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm
I
gonna have a threesome with him."
I had two lesbian friends that were a couple, and when I was roughly 22, and I thought that might happen. So for sure, Xander's thinking
Yeah, of course he
that.
is. Yeah. So we go to the bronze. Xander's there. He's got a basket of peanuts, and he bumps into Spike. Spike's also there, drinking a beer.
Oh, at the bronze, right?
Yeah, they end up.
Uh,
They have a great scene here.
this scene is notable for one reason for me.
Okay.
The songs that usually play in the background of the bronze are like unknown artists or just like generic, like fake sounding rock and roll music or like instrumentals. In this scene, in the background of the bronze, they play two legitimate indie rock classics.
I didn't notice them. So what are they?
Of course, it's played really low. There's no reason for these to be known songs, but
Was it
they
Sex
are
and
for some
Candy or
reason.
something?
No, the first one, it's not. They're not like well, the first one's not like a hit or anything, but it's "There's No Other Way" by Blur. It's like an early Blur song from like 1992 or something, and it is so weird that it's in this episode. I love it.
Yeah,
Um,
sounds cool.
and then this they play like that whole song, and then when that ends, they play the a Bohemian Like You by the Dandy Warhols.
Wow. Listen to that. Dandy Warhol's here.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, that's huge. I really didn't notice. But
That's the song you should end this episode with. Bohemian Like You. Fuck yeah.
I was gonna do the other one. Sounded cooler.
There's no other way.
There's no other way. That's how I expect that goes.
Logan, you're so weirdly close.
It's not weird.
The
I'm a musical
like
genius.
the cadence you came up with is like almost exact.
Who's the singer again? You said Beck?
It's Blur,
Oh,
Blur.
Blur, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Anyway, that's my thing for that
All right,
scene.
well, we go back to the bronze a little later, but here we go. We spend a little more time at the magic box, right? It's all destroyed, and Buffy shows up and with Tara, and they can't find Anya and Willow, and they're like, "Oh, where'd they go? We gotta hunt down that demon. Whatever demon caused this mess, we gotta track him down." So they
Right.
go do that. A little scene with the demon in town. You like that? He like tests out his hammer, breaks a car. I don't know.
I
Oh, but then
like
he
it
he
in
discovers
theory.
ale.
Yeah,
Heads
that's
off to
good.
ale.
I like whenever he's like yelling at the townspeople or whatever, but anytime he's like destroying property, it looks like shit.
Hmm. Like I didn't notice that. You
Hmm.
definitely don't like this episode as much as me.
Okay.
Not that I like super liked it. I actually left the episode kind of down on it, but you're kind of super down on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I always had this in my bottom 10 when I would do rankings.
Is it a bad title? What's the title again? Triangle? Yeah.
Triangle. I do think that doesn't help it. If it was called Troll, it might immediately make me think of Olaf, and that
What
might
is called
help
Troll
it in my
2?
brain a little.
That'd
Oh,
be an
then I would
amazing
love it.
title.
Yeah. The one where they did the flashback with him, they should have called that one Troll too.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So we're back to the bronze now. And Xander's talking to Spike. He's Drusilla mentioned. He says Drusilla's insane.
Yeah. Well, she is.
And Spike keeps doing this thing. He's like, "Yeah, I understand like what you're going through and everything, but how does Buffy feel about it?" He keeps being like from the Buffy side, like, "Well, yeah, but what about Buffy? What about her?" And so the troll comes in and he drinks a big old like a tub of
It's a
ale,
keg. It's a
a
keg.
keg of ale. Yeah, I've never had a keg. You ever do a keg stand?
No, but I've done like a funnel.
Really? Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Fun. No, no.
I did one. How about this? I did a funnel from a keg on a second floor of a house
Oh my goodness.
from the backyard outside. How about that?
So you're in the backyard or you're on the roof?
I'm in the backyard on the ground, and the keg is up on the second floor of the house, and they got a funnel going through the window there.
I said the roof. I meant the second floor. You should have been on the roof though. That'd be even cooler. Funnel it
Well,
up on the roof.
I didn't want to die.
Oh, okay. That's very
Yeah,
cool though.
yeah,
What a long funnel.
yeah. It was in Baltimore.
Oh wow, Baltimore. They get the long funnels in Baltimore? I didn't
They
know
got yeah, yeah. That's where they have the long funnels.
that. I can only find the 10-foot long. I didn't know they had the 20-foot
Nah,
long
nah,
in Baltimore.
man. Yeah, they got the king size. All right.
So yeah, we're at the bronze. Troll shows up. He says he wants to eat babies.
Yeah,
Oh
succulent,
no.
sweet succulent babies to eat.
That's terrible. And then so Anya and Willow show up, and Willow is like, "Oh, I wish Buffy was here." And then Buffy's like, "I'm here." And then Willow's like, "I wish I had
Yeah.
$1 million."
Yeah, which is a joke from an episode of Friends that Chandler says.
Oh wow, they
Hmm.
stole it.
Just
That's
stole it
funny.
outright.
Wow, did they give credit in the credits or anything?
No, absolutely not. I don't even know if
Credit
they
to
stole
Chandler.
it. It's such an easy joke, like but
Yeah, you're right. I feel like I've said that in my life. Like somebody comes
yeah,
through and they're
yeah,
like, "Oh, I wish I had $1 million." I thought that was a cute moment though.
yeah.
And then reveal, Troll says Anyanka, and I was like, wait, Anyanka, he knows her. Was he your boyfriend? And then he says, I was her boyfriend. And he cheated on her, so she turned him into a demon. And apparently that's how she got recruited to be a vengeance demon. She
That's
did such a
right.
good job that they were like, hey, you're good at vengeance demoning.
Yeah, so that's why this fellow Olaf is oddly crucial in Anya's life.
Yeah, it was a real turning point in her
Yeah.
life. Pretty cool stuff. And so Buffy fights the guy. Spike ends up getting involved. I feel like Spike ends up copying a feel of Buffy. Did I get that right?
I didn't notice if that happens, but
Seriously, bro. He gets knocked down, and I feel like there's like even he reacts to it like he was meant to, like it was
oh,
like
maybe,
intentional. Like, oh
maybe.
yeah, here's my chance. I don't know. But so he does the thing that you hate, apparently. He breaks that panel that's up to the second floor, and you got pissed off. You were like, "That's terribly done."
I
Right?
think it's a cool idea in theory, but I feel like that's a big moment. Like we've seen LeBron's a million times. We've been up on that catwalk to
Have
cut
we?
down. Yes, to cut down that in episode 2, the harvest. Uh, it's not even the harvest. It's fucking Welcome to the Hellmouth. In Welcome to the Hellmouth, Buffy and Giles have a crucial early conversation on that catwalk.
I
So
don't
to
remember them
cut
being up there.
Well, they are. They're like he's like
I'm not
hone your
doubting you.
skills, look down at the crowd of people. Who's a vampire? And she says that one, and it's because of his fashion, because he's dressed like the 70s. And Giles like, but
Of
you didn't
course.
hone.
Right.
Uh, so
But
anyway,
she nailed it, Giles. Shut up.
so to cut down that catwalk is a big moment. I feel like, and I feel like it's done with no fanfare whatsoever, and it doesn't look good. Looks
I
like a
don't
bad
know.
stunt.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. When he did
And
it,
when like the people are the victims of the whatever are down on the ground later, like covered by debris and shit, all the debris looks like it's made of fucking styrofoam.
yeah. I remember when he was about to do it, feeling like, oh no, the second floor. So it got a little reaction out of me. I was sad. I thought it
Okay.
worked.
All
Yeah, I didn't
right,
really.
good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, Logan, what I want most out of the show is for you to love Buffy. So and anytime you're enjoying anything, I'm happy.
Okay, good. Maybe when I watch it again, I'll be like, wow, they really no fanfare for the second story.
Maybe.
That sucks. Uh, but all right. So the troll, I think it cuts to credits like immediately too. Maybe that downplayed your enjoyment. The credits cut.
You mean commercial cut?
Oh yeah, the commercial, like it, like yeah, like it
Yeah, that
falls and
might
then goes to
be.
commercial.
That could be. The shot just doesn't look fluid because of that, maybe.
Maybe yeah. And so he runs off. Buffy says, "Xander, go find the troll. Willow, do a better spell next time." And Spike, he's like, Buffy, I could kill everybody and drink their blood. And Buffy's like, what? I should like give you props for not doing that? What do you want? And he's like, yeah, a little bit. I don't
No, that's a great Spike moment when she walks away. He goes, "What's it take?"
know. He thought that was gonna work.
Yeah.
That's so lame. Uh, Magic box time. Willow finds a better spell, right? And Willow and Anya have a great like come together moment where Anya's like, Willow, you broke up Xander and Cordelia. How do I know it's not gonna happen to me here? And Willow's like, I'm gay. She says, hello, gay now.
Yeah.
Hello, gay now. Pretty good. And
I
I
feel
thought
like that's
actually,
a little flip. I feel like that's not how Willow thinks of her sexuality.
yeah, yeah, same. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a joke. I feel like this episode, like Jane Espenson is really indulging her sitcom instincts and is going for the joke regardless of logic.
Yeah, because she's like, well, she said bored now, so she would say gay now.
Right, yeah.
That'd be good. That'd be a good line. I don't know. I thought Willow also kind of a bad moment here. She yells at Anya and she says, it's like about, I forgot what it's about, but I think it's like because Anya's like, Willow, you're still stealing. You gotta like do better. And Willow says, you've been here before. Learn the rules. And that's how I felt about Willow, though. Like, you know not to steal, but you're stealing. You learn the rules, Willow.
Yeah.
I don't
And you
know.
don't even have the excuse that you're a weird ex-vengeance demon millennia old
Yeah, I think
thing.
that's what it was. She was like, Anya, I know you like, but you've been here for a long time at this point. You got to learn the rules at some point. That's how I felt about Willow.
Yeah,
So I
Will,
don't
you've
know.
been here your whole fucking life, dude. Why don't you learn some shit?
Seriously. So the troll shows up, bites the girls. Xander shows up. Troll tells Xander, hey, pick who you want. It's like good son situation. Pick who you want to live, pick who you want to die. But
Yeah.
Xander will not decide, even though
Hmm.
Anya is like sort of sacrifices herself. Says Xander, pick me. Did Xander get his hand broken?
Um,
He says
Oh
no, and
yeah.
Troll like breaks his
No,
hand.
yeah, he does. I feel like Xander has like a cast or a sling or something in the
That's my
next
question.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Good stuff. Love it. All right. So Willow makes the cash register disappear again. You're like,
Yeah.
oh no, again. Oh, yeah. And then Buffy shows up. Good stuff. And she fights him.
Off
And
camera, by the way. Whole fight's off camera.
yeah, off camera. And
We're
it's like,
mostly just seeing their reactions to it.
and then and Willow's like, Xander, Willow's gay, so nothing to worry about. And like we get them talking. Yeah, during it. I don't know. I kind of liked it actually. That was pretty fun. And we always send him to another dimension.
Another dimension?
Willow, yeah, she sent him to another dimension, but she doesn't know
Another
which one.
dimension? No, sorry, that's from a Beastie Boys song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but and she compares it. She says, "I know this is gonna sound weird, but I would compare it to throwing a live bee at a puppy."
She says that.
She said that.
It's an odd line.
Yeah, but she knew it. She said, "I know this is gonna be weird," but she says like trying to send them to a specific place is like throwing a live bee at a puppy.
Oh, she brings up the dimension with no shrimp again. She's so
Oh yeah, because
obsessed with
Tara
that.
is allergic. She said.
Yeah. Tara was intrigued by the shrimpless dimension.
Yeah, she would love to go there because she's
Hmm.
allergic. And Buffy grabs the big giant hammer. She's like, "At least we got a big hammer." Puts it on the glass. Glass breaks. Pretty funny stuff. And Buffy, yeah. So Buffy, she's there. The whole dramatic thing of this. This is why Buffy wins the MVP because at the end she's like, "Look at you two together, happy," and she starts crying because Riley's
Yeah.
gone. But at least her friends are. They have a nice relationship.
Yeah.
So we go back home. I was like, whose house are we at? I feel like we've never seen this dining room set before. Have we?
Dining room set.
Have we?
I don't know. Where were we? I don't remember.
We're at a dining room. We're at a dining table.
Oh, it's Buffy's house. We
I
have seen this
know.
dining room table before. They sit at this dining room table at the end of Restless, the season 4 finale.
Okay, I put two and two together when Joyce came in with tea, but
Yeah.
at first I felt like I hadn't seen it before. But so yeah, it's Joyce, Buffy, Giles. They're all enjoying tea, talking at the table. It's late at night. And who are they talking about? They're talking about Dawn. They're like, "Can't remember that plot where Dawn was like the key and stuff. Gotta bring
Yeah, I
that
do.
back." So what's up with that? And then Dawn is at the steps. She hears them talking. She's like, "What?" I don't know exactly what she learned from this. Really, like
She just suspects something's weird about her now.
in fact, she already did kind of, but now she like gets it confirmed.
Well, I mean, the only clue she's had so far is like the homeless people saying shit to her, and like Buffy has really like honed in on that and like tried to make her feel better about that. And now this is the first time like she's hearing like an actual discussion at like the dinner table
From
between
Buffy
Buffy,
too.
her mom, and her watcher, about her.
Yeah, how she's in danger. So
Yeah.
not good at all for Dawn.
Yeah.
So that's the end of the episode. What do we give it? Threes? I'm gonna give it a
Two.
three.
Two.
Two. You like the villain. We get Riley's gone, so we get to let all our other characters get some
Oh,
stuff.
credits to change to the credits. Did you notice?
What happened? What do you mean?
No more Blucas.
Oh, no more Blucas? No, I didn't
Yeah.
notice, I don't think. Didn't notice. But was anybody in his place or no?
Nope. Nope.
No? Uh, Miss Blucas, I gotta say, I saw him in the opening. I've been seeing a lot of the Ryan Atwood, right? And
Ri-
I go to
Of
previously on Buff.
Ryan Atwood.
I've been seeing a lot of
Oh,
this guy
you mean
Ryan
like you
Atwood.
saw Riley and you thought he was Ryan Atwood?
No, no, that's not what I'm saying. But I've
Oh,
been seeing
okay.
a lot of Ryan Atwood, and then I saw Riley in the previously on, and they're both like blonde, like attractive guys, and I was just like, man, Riley's so much more handsome than the guy who played Ryan Atwood.
Oh, yeah.
Like
But
Riley is so handsome, I think.
that said,
You don't really notice until
Benjamin McKenzie is a much better actor than Mark Blucas.
oh, I'm not questioning that or anything. He's good. I
Yeah.
think by the way, that guy's getting a lot more to do in season two. He's having a lot more fun. Season one, he was just
McKenzie?
like brooding guy. Who?
Yeah. Oh,
A bit,
You
yeah, Ben
mean,
McKenzie. He's
yeah.
doing a lot more like
Well,
more
he
exciting.
gets a little cute romance in season two with um what's her name? The redhead.
Yeah, Lindsay.
Lindsay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, it
And
is cute.
I feel like that's like a lighter he has a lighter touch in those scenes.
He's not having to like always be sexy to impress her because she's like is used to dating normal
Exactly, yeah.
people.
Like he meets her like in a an academic setting.
Yeah, not I can be anybody you want me to be or whatever he says.
Right. Oh my God. Sorry.
He does the thing again where she
Just you saying that line gave me goosebumps.
they're eating French fries, him and Marissa, and they're like trying to like get to know each other again, and she's like, "So who are you?" And he's eating the French fry, and he's like, "I could be anybody you want me to be." He pulls the
Yeah,
French fry
it's
out like a
great.
cigarette.
Yeah, yeah.
Very funny. Very. They do so many callbacks to like the first time these characters met, and it's like, really, you guys remember everything? But it's like I would too, so it's not that crazy.
But Ryan going from Chino to the OC is such a formative moment in his life. It must
Right.
feel so present. Like this is the turning point of his entire universe. And
Right.
so yeah, I think he would remember everything as being really iconic.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. I didn't question it, but all right. So there is so three. I give it three. You give it two. I'm gonna go Buffy for my MVP.
I'm gonna go all up.
Olaf, that's good. I think you could also go Anyanka or Xander. Those are the other two that I thought of,
Maybe.
but going Buffy. LVP, I think you could go Willow, and I think
I'm
you
gonna
could
go
go
Willow.
Joyce.
Willow didn't occur to me as an option because she's Willow. But
Yeah.
when you said that, I sort of love that as an option for this one episode.
I feel like I'm great at picking LVPs. I feel like every
You
week you're
are.
like, "Oh, great LVP."
You're much better at that shit than I am.
Especially LVP. That's like
Here's why.
my specialty.
Here's why. Here's why how MVP LVP started. This is the
Hmm.
origin story. I don't know that I've ever said
I
this
don't think
before.
I've heard this.
Um, I was dating a girl named Katie years and years ago,
Poor
and
guy.
I had no, no,
Oh.
and I had never seen Grey's Anatomy before. All right. This was around season 12 of Grey's Anatomy. So this would be 8 years ago. I can do that math
Whoa.
based on Grey's Anatomy. And I we
Wait,
started watching.
2012. That was 12 years ago.
No, it was season 12, and right now it's season 20.
Oh,
That's
I'm
what I'm
so
saying.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Um, and so we started watching Grey's Anatomy from the beginning.
She's a fan already?
She was already a big fan, yeah. And we decided that for after each episode, first of all, the titles of every episode of Grey's Anatomy is a song.
Mm,
All
cool.
right. So we after every episode we listened to the song that was the title of the episode and we'd grade it.
As a
And
song or as the like how well it worked as a
as a
title?
song, as
Okay.
both.
What's the best
And
song they ever used, you think?
I
Can't be
like
scraping the bottom of the barrel now.
I love that there's a two-parter and the part one is called "It's the End of the World as We Know It" and the second
Oh,
part is
that's good.
and I Feel Fine."
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. Do they ever do moves like Jagger? Do they ever get to that one?
I maybe I don't
Seems
know.
like a good title for an episode.
But anyway, they so we would do that and then we would rate the episode out of five,
So you had your own
and
little podcast.
it was just a little like a 5 minute conversation after every episode, and then we would also give an MVP or an LVP, and it was a medical show. So the conception of the MVP LVP was largely based on like who did the best
Yeah,
doctoring of the
performance
week.
as a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it had nothing to do with like the movie or whatever. And so I when I we started the franchise like right around the same time, like maybe like a year after I started watching Grey's Anatomy or something. So that was like so top of mind. I thought it'd be a cute idea for the podcast, but it doesn't really always work in terms of my initial conception of it. So I have a tough time doing it sometimes, but I feel like you have your own idea of what like MVP LVP means.
Yeah,
So
a
like
little
you're
bit.
better at it.
So when you watch it, you're like, well, this garbage man in the movie was a
Yeah,
good garbage man, so that's
yes.
not the LVP because they did a good performance as at
Ex-
their job as garbage man.
yes, kind of.
That's interesting. I can't dispute that at all.
Yeah. Um all right, so where are we?
At
Oh,
the end of the episode, I think.
rank it. Where is it in your ranking?
All right, we've ranked 89 episodes of Buffy, 90 next week. Big week. Is 90 a big number? I don't know. But I rank it 62. No, I'm gonna rank it
That's
63.
high.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna rank it 63. I had it between Out of My Mind and Into the Woods, but I'm gonna drop it under Into the. I just left last week so upset, but last week's a better episode. Into the Woods and Family, ranking it between those two.
This isn't better than Family.
I think so. I think I like the troll more than the
What
family.
else is below this shit?
For me,
Yeah.
What's My Lines, Shadow, Go Fish, The Pack, Teacher's
The
Pet, Bad
Pack.
Eggs. Yeah. The Revelations, The Dark Age, Out of Mind, Out of
What?
Sight. Out of Mind, Out of Sight, not Out of My Mind. Where the Wild Things Are, Some Assembly Required, I Robot You Jane, Dead Man's Party, Nightmares, Reptile Boy, Lie to Me, Killed by Death, Beauty and the Beast,
Some of
Welcome
these, I'm just saying, at this point, you're up to bad episodes, but like before, like are the ones that were like just a little bit
The
below.
Dark Age and Bad Eggs, Teacher's
Some of
Pet,
those, yeah, like around that
The
period,
Pack.
you're gonna go back and like rewatch the series someday, and you're gonna feel weird about your ranking.
Okay, maybe. I think I liked them being separated into like it's Buffy and Tara, it's Willow and Anya.
Yeah, no, it's thoughtful. There are some thoughtful things in this episode, but it's just too much Buffy as sitcom.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Maybe you're right. But for
Yeah.
now, 63.
Read me my list from the very bottom, and I'll try to get this as high as I can.
Okay, I love it. Beer Bad, I Robot, You Jane. That's crazy. Puppet Show, Killed by Death, Beauty and the Beasts, Where the Wild Things Are, Shadow, first one from this season. Bad Eggs, Inca Mummy
All
Girl.
right, Bad Eggs and Shadow.
Damn. Bad Egg, Reptile Boy is between those.
Wait, it's
Bad Eggs, Reptile Boy, Shadow. Top to bottom. Bad
that's
Eggs, Reptile
that's
Boy,
top
Shadow.
to bottom. Bad Eggs, Reptile Boy, Shadow. Okay, so between Reptile Boy and Shadow.
So out of 89, you have it 82.
Hmm.
And I had it 63. So big
You can put it
difference.
above Reptile Boy.
So you have it 80 two, 81.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it. Yeah, it seemed like one of those that I liked more than you, but I mean maybe you're right. It's hard to
I
judge
don't
these in
look.
the moment.
I like that you like it. Let's move on to Angel, shall we?